This is the car that proved Ferrari hadn't lost its edge, and it did it with fire and fury. The F430 arrived in 2004, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. Its predecessor, the 360 Modena, was lovely, elegant, smooth, and easy to drive. But some said it was too polite. Ferrari, the brand of screaming engines and red-blooded chaos, was in danger of going soft. The F430 was the answer, and it wasn't subtle about it. From the very first glance, you knew this was a Ferrari with something to prove. The nose borrowed cues from their Formula One cars, the rear diffuser looked like it had fallen off a Le Mans prototype, and the engine bay, covered in glass, was a stage for one of the greatest shows in automotive history. Because under that glass sat a naturally aspirated 4.3-litre V8, producing 490 horsepower and revving to the heavens. But it wasn't just about power. Ferrari gave it a voice that was pure opera, metallic, savage, and unforgettable. Put your foot down, and it didn't just accelerate, it attacked. 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds, and a top speed north of 310 kilometers per hour. Numbers that were properly supercar in every sense. But the magic of the F430 wasn't in the straight line numbers. It was in the way it moved. This was the first Ferrari road car to get the Manettino switch, a dial on the steering wheel that let you flick between settings borrowed straight from Formula One. Traction, suspension, throttle response, all adjustable at your fingertips. For the first time, a road-going Ferrari felt like it had one foot on the racetrack and the other on the street. The chassis was sharp, the steering telepathic, and the balance sublime. And then there were the brakes. Carbon ceramic, developed with the kind of obsession only Ferrari could justify, they made the F430 stop harder than gravity itself. This wasn't just a car you drove, it was a car that convinced you, briefly, that you were Michael Schumacher. Inside, it was Ferrari at its most focused. No luxury for luxury's sake, no distractions, just leather, carbon fiber, and instruments that reminded you this was a machine built for speed, not comfort. It wasn't about cup holders or quiet refinement, it was about feeling alive every second you were behind the wheel. And yet, despite all that rawness, the F430 wasn't terrifying. Thanks to Audi-like build quality and clever electronic aids, it was usable in a way that old Ferraris simply weren't. You could drive it to the shops if the shops were at the end of a very, very fast racetrack. The F430 didn't just replace the 360, it redefined what a mid-engine Ferrari could be. It was dramatic, ferocious, and utterly addictive. This was the car that silenced the critics. The car that reminded the world Ferrari wasn't in the business of being polite. The Ferrari F430 was proof that Maranello still knew exactly how to set the world on fire.